Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota is one of the most underrated national parks. We spent 2 fantastic days there and saw the beauty of the Badlands Formation, wildlife, and learned about Teddy Roosevelt's time here. We left the town of Dickinson for the 45-minute drive to the Painted Canyon Visitor Center, just off of Interstate 94, our first stop in the national park. Theodore Roosevelt National Park has 3 units, the North Unit, the Elkhorn Ranch, and the South Unit. We visited the South Unit on this day. The Painted Canyon was very picturesque with the Badlands Formation and stripes of different colors from the various depositions through the years. This was a great start to the day with perfect weather. Another 15-minute drive on I-94 brought us to the small town of Medora, where we did our park business and visited the Maltese Cabin on the ranch Teddy Roosevelt invested in 1833. Close by, there were feral horses just grazing. Wow, beautiful scenery, history, and wild horses, and we're just an hour into the visit. Can't wait to see what's next. We drove on the 36-mile scenic loop drive that was the main way to tour the South Unit. Not long after crossing back over I-94, we stopped at the Prairie Dog Town to find a bunch of prairie dogs. Most of them were near their barrels, some foraging while others stand guard to watch for predators. These little rodents were cute. They built elaborate underground tunnels for shelter to protect against hawks and coyotes. While they're cute, they have sharp teeth and claws, and they fight. The road ran along the east bank of the Little Missouri River with several fantastic overlooks and short trails. One of the easy trails is the Windy Canyon Trail that gets close to the river. It was rightfully named because it sure was windy when we visited. After the short hike, it's lunchtime.
It's your favorite time of the day, Subway Sandwich National Park, and
6-inch up, and then we'll go for a mile hike one way and a mile hike back way to try to get rid of the calories. How's that?
What do you call a park that's got grasslands, it's got the Badlands rock formation, it's got elk, it's got prairie dogs, it's got bighorn sheep, it's got a river, Missouri River that runs through it? What do you call a park like that? There's no single iconic feature that you name a park for. Well, this is the only national park that is named for a person. President Theodore Roosevelt. Why? Because President Roosevelt spent a lot of time out here before he became president, and more importantly, he is instrumental. He was absolutely instrumental in preserving the land that we enjoy today. Theodore Roosevelt added more parkland and more public preservation space than any other president in history. We're on the western side of North Dakota, where the Dakota Plains meet the Badland Hills. And you can see the gradual transition from just large expanses of grassland into these white-looking rock formations that is the signature of the Badlands Hills. Continuing down the scenic loop drive, we came to the fantastic overlook of Boicourt and the very short Boicourt Trail. There was a herd of bison in the grassland. We made a quick stop at Buckhill and the Buckhill Trail. Next stop is the 0.8-mile Coal Vein Trail, with a trail guide to learn all about clinkers and coal vein. An underground fire in the coal vein burned for 26 years. We saw more prairie dogs at the Old East Entrance Station. The last stop of the day was a Scoria Point Overlook, with a nice view of the valley and wildlife. On day 2, we visited the North Unit and drove the 14-mile scenic drive. One interesting tidbit is the North Unit is in a different time zone than the South Unit. It's all very confusing. Our major hike of the day is the Caprock Coulee Trail. This was a fantastic 4.1-mile hike through the coulees, which are steep, narrow valleys.
This is a Caprock Coulee Trail, and it meanders from the coulees to the forest to the grasslands, and it keeps changing as the elevation and the direction changes. As we come up the hill, and this is the reward that you get. Look at that. What magnificent scene.
The trail continues up a ridge with great views. As the trail descends, we came around the corner, and there, right in the middle of the path, is a bison. He was about 50 yards from us, and he certainly wasn't going to move to make way for us. So we had to go off trail to get around him with plenty of distance between us. That was great. After the great hike, it's lunchtime.
Time to eat.
It is her favorite time of the day.
Favorite time of the day after a long hike. Now I could eat my sandwich.
And her favorite time of the day, always.
Yes, as usual.
We continued down Scenic Drive, stopping at various overlooks. As we came around a bend, there was a bison in the middle of the road. I didn't want to crowd the bison, so we decided to back up until the bison decided to go into the brush. A very nice surprise. I wonder if it was the same bison that we saw on the trail. We reached the end of the drive, the Oxbow Overlook. On the way back, we get another treat. Look who's by the side of the road.
What are you measuring out there?
Nothing. I got a big orange sheep off there.
Oh, you do?
Nobody wants to stop and see him.
I do.
Okay, we'll park outside.
This is one of those national parks that you really have to come to in order to appreciate. There is no single iconic feature that everybody says, oh wow, you know, that is beautiful and that is a symbol of this park. No, there really isn't. But put together as a whole with the easy accessibility of driving around, seeing the beautiful scenery, and seeing the wildlife that is here, and to celebrate the person that is the very most consequential person for the establishment of the national parks as we see today. This is just a wonderful park. You have to be here to really enjoy it. What a fantastic end to our day at Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Since there was still plenty of daylight, we went to see the Enchanted Highway with the giant sculptures. Nice. We are on our way to visit all the national parks in the United States. Follow along by hitting the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell so you know when a new video is released. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and please share it with everybody that you know.